Hello everybody and welcome to the video. So let's go into something that I like, why not? Something that is grown on me over the years. The idea of the unchanging Brahman, the unchanging self. Now, it's got this impersonal quality, unchanging, eternal, unborn, undying, always here, nothing was ever born, nothing was ever die, there was no seeker, there was no path, etc., etc. All this, very impersonal. Seeing that our self is this impersonal quality to which everything arises. It wasn't something that appealed to me at first. I was more into the, more like the kind of Kashmir Shaivism that says that consciousness is manifested through vibrations and becomes these things. But the more I get into it, the more I see how important it is that the true self is unchanging. This unchanging, silent, luminous, and full of and love itself, the source of all goodness. So it's not just something cold and nasty. But this, I think this, partly because of explaining things and discussing things with people, I always find that this is really what is more authentic to me. Here we go. So I'm going to go through Drig-Drishya Viveka, a simple analysis of the seer and the seen, but as they do, I'm going to include the also analysis of the changing and unchanging, and the singular and many. Okay, so eventually we discover that we are unchanging, undivided, and singular. Right. So Drig-Drishya Viveka is about the seer and the seen, the subject and the object, finding out your true identity. You begin by saying, okay, so I see the world, many forms. My vision is singular, and the many forms I see are plural. My vision is a subject, and everything else is an object to me. Also, my vision is unchanging compared to how everything else changes. A lot more change there. Then, so we've decided that the body, basically the eyes, are the self. And this is what people normally consider the self to be. So then we go deeper. So then we see the vision, the eyes, as the object, and the mind as the subject. So the object is the eyes, there's two of them, and the mind, there's one, so singular and plural. The mind, as it observes the eyes moving, the eyes getting older, needing reading glasses, the mind stays unchanging in respect to, or in comparison to, the changing eyes, which change more. So we've got singular and many, the subject and the object, and the changing and the unchanging. Then we can look at the mind, and we can look at the mind. The mind has got very many different aspects. It's got kind of just the thoughts, the simple thoughts, and then it's got kind of intellect, which is the understanding. So the simple thoughts are appearing to you, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's appearing to me, definitely an object. You've got the intellect, this understanding, this sense that first you don't understand something and then you understand it, and this change that you observe. So you must be the unchanging, because you have to be unchanging to see anything that's changing, to be able to say that that is different to that. And then we've got the ego as well, and other parts, with the mind and with the memories. And the ego is changing. You can feel it. It's an object there, something that I feel present. I feel me. That is an object, and you are the subject, so whatever that is. If it's not the mind. So all of that, many aspects of the mind, and you are the singular witness, the ultimate witness. There's another step you can go beyond and say there's a blackness beneath that, which everything appears in. If you want, we can put that one in. So there's this blackness that's underneath where everything, all this appears in the mind. And this blackness is the blackness of deep sleep. Now, so that's singular, and all the thoughts are many. All the different aspects of the mind are many. That is the subject, the background in which everything else arises. And that is unchanging, and the mind is changing. I'm not sure if I'm repeating myself here, but anyway, you get the idea. Then we say, okay, so there's this blackness that I feel is me, even deeper than the feeling of the ego. It's deeper than that. But the question is, does that appear to? Because you can see that blackness. It's what you are can never be found. What you are can never be objectified. It's not here. It's a bit like in a dream where you're outside, sleeping in bed. Everything is you. Everything in the dream is you, but you're actually not locatable in the dream. It's not really your body in the dream. You're not really looking at it out of your eyes. That's all just conditioning. I normally look at my eyes in the waking state, so why would I not in the dream state? So this, we see this, the fact of this unchanging witness. So the blackness, it changes. It becomes the waking state, it becomes the dream state, and it becomes the deep sleep state. What we are is underneath all of those states, the witness of this that can never be found in anywhere. You can never objectify the witness because it becomes an object, and then it's not the eternal subject. So this idea of changing and unchanging, the thing that I wanted to focus on in the video, how do we know that we're not changing? Firstly, because the idea is that you are the unchanging, the eternal, etc. How do we know that we're just not changing and don't notice it? Well, firstly, for anything to change, it needs to be observed. So it needs to be objectified and becomes an object, not the subject. You could say, oh, well, but it's seen by other people, but they are the Atman as well. They are the unchanging aspect, which is also observing the changing in front of it. We are the observer of the change. That's how we can see change, because there is this unchanging background behind it. Now, what if I actually change, but I just don't know I'm changing? I wouldn't be aware. The first argument is, if it changes and observable, it's an object, so it's not you. The second is, if it's completely invisible to you, the change, so you're this, you're A for a period and then you're B. Now that change, you wouldn't notice, and you could say, well, if I don't notice it, it's like anything else I don't notice, the pink elephant that flies around the earth 30 times a day. We never see it. Should we keep talking about it? Maybe not. I'll drop it. You could give that argument, and I don't like that argument. I don't think that's satisfying. I don't want to think that, oh yes, I'm the unchanging self, but I could actually be changing. But yeah, I wouldn't notice it, so why talk about it? I don't want to be like that kind of truth. It's not what I'm looking for. I want the ultimate truth. The thing is that, so you change from A to B, and you don't notice it. The subject is unchanging. That's, you say, well, the subject is not unchanging. The subject, which is the subject of experience, is unchanging. Even if the subject is changing, it's not. Because you're just thinking of another kind of object that's kind of behind the subject. And the thing is that even if there was millions of changes and you experience no change, the pure sense, the pure, eternal, unchanging Brahman, the ground of being is unchanging. Despite that, it's always unchanging. We are always eternal, and this vast, thing that has no division, no limits. And this is what has really appealed to me. This aspect of Brahman being impersonal was not something I really liked, and it's grown on me. I have also, with non-duality, is given me more confidence in believing in the religion I was brought up in. So although I'm also interested in Advaita Vedanta, Sri Ramakrishna, has given off some, helped me with the Christianity and the things that we find there. And God now, for me, has been augmented from being a man in the sky to being this eternal, like, open ocean, pure and full of luminous and full of love, because that's what our nature is. Sat-Chit-Ananda. It's the existence, consciousness, or being, knowing, and value, and peace. The peace itself, the peace and quiet joy is our true nature. And of course, without the personal aspect. When we want the personal aspect, we can go into duality and explore devotion and things like that more authentically, because we have found this. We've found this just here in front of us. Here, not in front, but even within us, we've found this eternal, unchanging thing that cannot be hurt, cannot be touched. The screen on which everything's projected, the fire in the movie cannot burn. So, there we go. I should probably try to end these videos with some sort of punchline, but nothing today. Thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.